Hey everyone, Sean here, Detroit Disney Duo, and today is September the 11th, 2020. Today's weather, it's kind of cold. It's dropped down into the 60s. It says it's supposed to be 70 later on, but we'll see about that. Anyhow, today's, as you can see, it's cloudy. A few patches of that blue sticking through, and yeah, and looks like some new neighbors have moved in across the street to the house over here, to the this house right here. Anyhow, so today is the remembrance of 9/11, and back from 2001 when the World Trade Centers were attacked, along with a couple of airplanes that were attacked. One that hit the Pentagon and one that hit the World Trade Center. And since then, we have built up the World Trade new World Trade Center. I think it's called Trade Center 1. I can't remember the actual name of it right now at this point in time. But my dad actually worked on the new Trade Center on the project of putting the antennas for the broadcast stations up on the top of the new building. And I think it's called the Freedom Tower. That's the name of the building, I believe, in New York City that's now um, been there. They have the reflective pools, which I believe where the towers used to be, and then they have the new Freedom Tower, and on top of that tower are some the new broadcast antennas that used to be on the World Trade Center. And my father worked with another couple of guys here in Detroit that had the project of those antennas. Yeah, so interesting story about that. So yeah, today is another balmy day. It's starting to be fall time. If I zoom in here and look sort of at these trees in the distance, specifically this tree over here, you might be able to see that this tree over here has some type of fall colors going on it, and whatnot. So it's kind of fall time already. The the cider mills are already open. People are going to them. They're getting their cider and donuts, and fall is upon us. Pretty crazy. It's been a long but fast summer. I say that because sometimes it felt like it was going by super slow, and sometimes it felt like it was going by really fast. So, what else is going on? That's a lot is actually going on these days. So we're going to talk a little bit later. I thought I'd come out here and just show you what's going on today, right now, on my little small break from work. So I'm going to tell you my remembrance of 9/11, that day, September the 11th, 2001. So I was in my house, in bed, and we were watching the TV, and then there was this breaking news that the tower had been hit, one of the first towers. I don't remember which one it was. So all we had back then was the television. There was the internet, but it wasn't like we had Facebook and all those other things to see live streaming video. Basically, you had to watch the television to see what the heck was going on. So I watched the tower get hit, and then they replayed it over and over and over again. And it was almost. Then the second tower was hit, and then there was a long period of waiting for when the towers would finally crumble down. And then after that, for days, it was smoldering on, and crews were working on it. It was just and to watch the horrifying scenes of people jumping out of the building really got into my head. So much that I today, Casey Neistat tweeted out that he never wants to see it again, and neither do I. It was so horrifying that I will never forget it. I don't need to have
to watch it on TV every year because it is like burnt into my head and my vision about every time I think about it. That's all I really see, and it's that horrifying. And it's really something I don't want to. I remember, but I don't want to see those pictures in my head again because it's really disturbing. Say the least, it was a day of awakening. I don't know that I can compare it to Pearl Harbor because Pearl Harbor was part of World War II and it was a surprise attack and it was far way worse. But this was similar to it, but just no, I don't believe it was on the same scale as Pearl Harbor. Now, so I really I give my condolences again this year to the families of all of those who lost their lives in the attack on 9/11 at the Pentagon, the airplane that went down in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, and at New York City. I give my condolences to everybody and all their families. We are still hurting for you. So, anyways, oh, and I wanted to talk about, see if I can find it on the internet. I remember I told you earlier that my father was a broadcast engineer, consultant, and his work was working on putting some towers, some TV towers back on the top of the Freedom Tower that was going up in New York City. Let me see if I can find that. Anyhow, I could not find the something backdated from their website because it's no longer in existence because basically the engineering team that my dad worked with, everybody had passed. My dad passed, the owner passed, everybody passed. But anyways, needless to say, they were working secretively, and that was the key phrase, secretly, because they didn't want to let the bag out of what because Freedom Tower was basically a kind of like they didn't want to give the name away for a long period of time, so the project was very hush hush, and they finally they did design all the the antennas on the top of the Freedom Tower and consult for all the broadcast stations in New York for that. So I thought that was pretty exciting. But you cannot find any of their information online because it's no longer in existence. It's a kind of a sad thing, and but this is how it goes. And so, anyways, that's what I know about 9/11. It really I was I also once we went back to war with Iraq. Very interestingly, I had gotten out of the military in 1997 and out of the U.S. Army. Hence, here I got my Army hat on. So I got out of the Army then, and then instantly I had somebody. They put a recall back on some people who were in this thing called Individual Ready Reserve, IRR. So when you get out of the military and you still have some time to do, but it's not like a lot, you don't go into the reserves. You go into a Individual Ready Reserve. Which is basically you're a civilian, but you could still be called up until the time of your contract is over and done with. So mine was up in 97, but then they actually extended that even further, trying to get people that had just got out not too long ago. So they were going as far as back as like 1999 or a couple years. And they were like, "We need you." And I was like, good. Good thing I just got out a little bit longer than that, or I would have had to go back in the military, and yeah, that would have not been good. Anyways, so because I was in during the first Gulf War, so anyhow, that's my story. I'm sticking to it, as that one guy, Andy Rooney, would say. He's sticking to it, and talk to you guys again another day. For now, you know what time it is. Over, and sorry about the lighting. Over and out.